like Emily said, I have been selling my embroidery on Etsy for about 2.5 years now. I don't sell only on Etsy, but I do primarily most of my business on Etsy. I've probably sold about on Etsy. I have about 175 sales. I would say in my life I've probably made closer to 400 sales. So I'm pretty familiar with the process. Now you guys are teenagers, so you're probably better with technology than I am at this point. So when you go to actually build the Etsy site, it's super easy. It pretty much walks you through every step, as far as like naming your business, adding links, adding photos, everything. And I would, when you go to build the website or when you go to build your Etsy store, definitely add some photos, personalize it so people know it's a real thing. You're not getting scammed. They know where the money's going. For CCC specifically, I would definitely add something in the Etsy shop about CCC, what it does, who you are, where the money's going. I think people are a lot more inclined to spend their hard-earned cash when they know it's going to a good cause. So I would add something in there, but that's for when you guys actually go to set it up. I would definitely add as much information as you can to the store, so it'll give you the option to like connect an Instagram or connect a Facebook page or connect a website. I think CCC has all of those, so go ahead and connect those so people can definitely go to those links and see what they're supporting. You also you have the option to upload like a banner picture, a profile picture. It's a similar setup to Facebook. I don't know how many people are on. You guys might not be on Facebook. That might not be the cool thing these days. I don't know.
How many of you are on Instagram?
Okay, so yeah. But definitely add photos, personalize it, make it clear it's a real place where the real money is going to do real things. That's all baseline, just making the website. And you can do that on a desktop or like a laptop. You can do it on your phone. There's an Etsy sellers app that you can download that I use most of the time. But when you go to set it up, make sure you're looking on what it would look like on an actual computer, and as well as what it would look like on the phone, because they do change slightly. So just make sure everything looks nice and how you want it to. And then when it comes to your actual listings, so like when you list the products that you want to sell, there's a couple of things that you can do to make it easier and quicker. I will go over those in a few minutes though. So when you list something on Etsy, you have to choose a category. There's a million categories. No matter what you're selling, there's a category for it. Basically, you start with like a broad list of what it is. So it'll be like wall art, fiber art, vintage, blah, 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 blah. And then you just keep narrowing it down to what it is you're selling. I guarantee it's there. When you are making a listing, all the required information has an asterisk, so you'll know what you need before you can post it. It doesn't need a lot. You basically just need at least a photo, the title, so the title of what it is, a description, shipping, if you want to renew it, auto-renew, or let it expire. I'll go over that too. I think that's it. But there's a bunch of other stuff you can add. You don't have to. Oh, hashtags. Towards the bottom of the listing, you have the option to use, I think, up to 13 hashtags. Use them, because that is kind of what will bring people to your listing. Because if somebody's searching for something specific that you have, and you don't have a hashtag that you have that, then it's just going to be out there floating. If you have the hashtag in there, they're going to find it. They're going to be like, oh, perfect, this is it. You don't have to do all 13. You can do 2 or 3. You can do all 13 if you want. It's up to you. Let's see. I would personally add at least 2 photos of the product. Clear, good photos. They don't have to be pro shot. You can just use your iPhone from different angles, depending on what it is. If it's something simple, it doesn't need to be like, you know, just a photo on and maybe a photo from a different angle. If you have at least 2 photos, it's a little bit more legit, so to speak. Your description of the product doesn't have to be a novel. You can just say what it is. If it's like a button or a friendship bracelet, just give the measurement, like, okay, it's 2 inches across, or, you know, it's 6 inches long, whatever. And then for CCC specifically, I would put in the description something about all the proceeds going to CCC. Here's the website link if you want to know more. Something simple, just a disclaimer, you know. What else? So I went over the hashtags. Shipping sounds complicated, but it's not. And I will go over the shipping part of it in a minute. The only bummer thing about Etsy is fees. They're not bad. You'll still get your money. But with it's such a sort of bustling sales platform, that's how they stay running, is by charging you a little bit. You get charged 20 cents per listing, so when you list something, that's automatically 20 cents. If you have sales already made for the month, they'll just take it out of whatever is in your account. But if you don't, and when you start out you don't, you have to have like a card connected, so like a credit card or a debit card or something, because it'll just take it out of that. It's 20 cents per listing. When you have a question?
Yes. Does PayPal work?
Probably. I don't know 100% for sure, but they do offer quite a few options. Like if you have a PayPal account with a card connected to it, it's probably fine.
And that's not something you guys would need to be responsible for personally. We'll help you get set up so that CCC is kind of overseeing anything that has to do with money.
Yes. Okay, so with that 20 cents per listing, a listing lasts 4 months. And then you can either, when you make a listing, it'll give you the option to auto renew or just let it expire. If you auto renew, it'll automatically charge you the 20 cents again every time it auto renews. But if you guys aren't going to be here, then you probably just want to let it expire.
Can you also set it to only be available for like a month?
That's a great question. I don't think so.
Okay.
But you could just close the store.
I see.
After, at the end of the summer, you can just shut the store down, basically. Do you have a question or are you just stretching?
I'm sure.
Okay. So besides the 20 cents per listing, there is a 5% fee on shipping rates. So whatever you charge for shipping, Etsy is going to take 5% of that. So like I charge $4.79 anywhere in the US. So Etsy gets like 23 cents of that. And then they also take 5% of the listing price. So if I charge $12 for something, Etsy gets 60 cents. If I charge, $45 for something, they're getting like $2.25. That's the only bummer thing about Etsy, really. But it's all clear. Like it tells you every time you make a listing, it shows you every single percentage that they take out. So it's very transparent. You know where it's going. Personally, I build that into my prices. So I know how much I want to get for something. If I want to sell something for $20, I'm not going to list it for $20. I'm going to list it for $20 plus 5% of $20. So that at the end of the day, I'm still getting what I want. So, add 50 cents, add $1 onto your listing to make up for the difference that they're going to take out. Let's see. I forgot to put getting paid on here, which is arguably the most important part, but I'll talk about that at the end. If I forget, somebody remind me. Shipping is pretty easy once you set up what is called a shipping profile. It is basically a preset setting, it's repetitive, where you choose where you want to be able to ship and how much you want to be able to, or how much you want to charge for those places. So you can choose if you only want to ship to the US and how much you want to ship. If you, like, how much you want to charge to ship to the US. If you want to ship to Canada, if you want to ship, I doubt you guys are going to be doing that, but basically you just, when you do your first listing, there's an option to add a shipping profile, go in, say, okay, I want to ship to the US only, and here's how much I want to charge for it. And then that'll stay in the system, so every consecutive listing after that, when it asks for shipping information, when you post it, you just choose that shipping profile. It's super easy. Once you've got it done, it's just boom, click, that's it. Everyone charges different shipping rates. It's up to you. It depends on the size of the package that you're shipping, the weight. I'm guessing stuff that you guys sell is going to be small and light. So, I mean, it's really up to you. You guys figure out, where you want to ship from. If you want to ship from USPS, how you want to do that. Question?
Yes. How much does Etsy take from shipping even?
5%. So it's 20 cents per listing, 5% off your shipping price, and 5% off your listing price. I charge $4.79 to the US, $12.79 to Canada, and $17.79 to like Australia and the EU. That's what I set it at. You guys can set your own. Because what I usually ship in is a flat package it's usually no bigger than like maybe a foot by a foot. It's usually much smaller. If you're shipping in like letter envelopes, it's gonna be way less. So just think about what you're selling. USPS is what I use. You have the option to buy shipping labels from Etsy. This is all dependent on whether you have a printer though. My printer never works, so I don't do it. But you can just buy pre-made, has the return address, it says Etsy on it so they know it's official Etsy mail, it has their address, it's very easy, you just tape it on the package, just drop it off at USPS. That's an option. A lot of people do that. I buy a lot of stuff from Etsy and that's usually how I get it. I believe you have to have a card connected to purchase the mail, or not the mail, but the mailing label. So you buy the mailing label from Etsy. It's at a discounted price though, so it's not as much as you would pay if you just go to USPS and go up to the counter. But then again, it's not like you're paying extra to do that because you're still getting the shipping costs from your listing. So it just kind of evens it out. Ship fast if you can. If you can ship things the next day within 2 days, people are very happy, you get good reviews. If you're consistently shipping quickly, you get a little thing on all your listings that says like, ships quickly, this seller has been shipping within 3 days. Like I have that on mine right now, I'm very proud of it. I think that, well, I don't know what I think, I'm just talking. You don't need like priority shipping or anything, just ship first class. If tracking is possible, that's great. It's not absolutely necessary. If it's a small package, sometimes they don't offer tracking. You can ask for it. People like to know where their stuff is.
Do you go in person to the postal store? Or
I do.
You do?
You don't have to.
But you can package it and put your postage on and put it in the mailbox?
Yeah. Yep. So if you do the thing where you buy your label straight from Etsy, which is super easy, you print it out, you tape it on the package, you drop it off at a box. And the same if you use, like, there's lots of mailing services like that aren't directly connected to Etsy, like ShipStation, if you've heard of those. They're always promoting on podcasts and stuff. Anything like that where you can just print it off and put it in a box is super easy. Like I said, my printer never works, so I don't do But you absolutely can. Definitely include tracking numbers when you mark something as shipped if you have it, because people like to say, oh, my package is in Columbus today, oh, it's almost here, you know. First class shipping is usually 3 to 5 days, so people get it pretty quickly. If it's on the West Coast, it's usually closer to 5 days, but they know if it's coming from Michigan and they live in California, they know it's not going to be there tomorrow. So, with shipping is packaging. I think that clearly hand packaged things are a huge hit in general. So I always think, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up like I'm sending my best friend a care package. You know, wrap it up nicely if you can, add a handwritten note, like a handwritten thank you. Make it clear it's coming from a real person. I think people really like that. It makes them more apt to give you a good review. It makes them more apt to want to buy again. I have a lot of people, repeat customers, come back because I think partly because they like what I do, but also because of the care that I put into getting it to them. You can use pretty much anything you want for the outside packaging, what you literally ship it in. You can just buy envelopes at USPS. You can buy them at pretty much any big store, any like Walmart or Meijer or Target or Rite Aid for that matter. But again, it depends on what you want to send it in. If it's something that needs to be sent in like a bubbled envelope, or something that just needs to be sent in a really small envelope, whatever you need, you can pretty much always find it. Any major store. I like to be sustainable as possible with my packaging. So a lot of the time I actually use old pop boxes or like thin cardboard like that and tape basically, and I just make my own. You don't have to do that. I do that because it's a way to use cardboard that otherwise is just going to go in a dump.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I do that probably 75% of the time because I drink a lot of LaCroix and Sprite, so I always have, and like cereal boxes, any thin cardboard like that will still stand up to getting, thrown around in a truck works. Or just any, like reusing any packaging that you already have from something else you ordered. That's, if you want to go a little bit more sustainable, you don't have to. Let's see.
Ben has a question.
Oh, sorry, I can't see it out of the corner of my eye.
So what if the package is light but the box is big? Do they still charge more for that, or?
USPS, it's usually by size and weight. So if you have something small in a big box, you're still going to get charged based on the size of the box. I don't think, I very rarely have a large package, but you're probably never going to pay more than $5, especially if it's light.
Okay.
Now if it's a big heavy box, all bets are off. I don't know. I don't ship that kind of stuff. But I have not paid more than $5 to ship any packaging, except for outside of the country. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say with that, and I can't remember. Okay, so social media, connecting this all to social media. I think you guys are all very familiar with Instagram. I use Instagram to promote my stuff a lot. I sell stuff on Instagram. I don't know if there's like a CCC Instagram, or if you want to create a new page, like a new Instagram for specifically CCC art or crafts or whatever. Instagram is a great tool for getting eyes on your stuff, basically. You know that, you're teenagers. You can definitely sell stuff on Instagram if you want. You don't have to. If you want the security of an actual sales platform, that's totally fine. A lot of people prefer it. If you want to sell stuff on Instagram, you basically just can use whatever form of communication with the buyer that you want. If you want to just do it through Instagram messages or set up an email for CCC for this specifically, and then, you know, just use Venmo or PayPal or whatever to get payment. The thing I would do if you do end up selling stuff on Instagram is make sure you get payment before you ship it, just for that extra piece of security so you know you're not getting ripped off.
We're probably not gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I figured probably not. But if you wanted to promote donations on Instagram, I think that would be a great place to do that. And, you know, keep information in the Instagram bio if you want to create a new one or use one that already exists. Same with listings on Etsy for that kind of thing. Hashtags bring a lot of visibility to your stuff. And you can use that to kind of push them to the Etsy store. The Etsy store. Like when I post on Instagram, on my business Instagram, I don't always post just what's for sale. I post things that I'm working on or just things I think are interesting relating to my art. You could definitely do that just to keep people updated with what's going on, to get people interested in what you're doing, what you're selling. And then you can, you know, post stuff that you are selling on Etsy and just, you know, keep the Etsy link in the bio. Basically, there's a spot where you can put a link. Just put the Etsy link in there at the end of the description of whatever you're selling. Just say, hey, link's in the bio if you want to go buy this. It's right there. I don't know if you guys are gonna be doing any custom or commissions. Probably not. Okay, that's what I thought. So that's easy. Before I go on, any questions in general about anything?
Is there gonna be like notes from this meeting that we can look off of so we can help?
There's a video? Are you taking notes?
I am taking notes, and I'll watch the video again and kind of put together and
Yeah.
outline. Have any of you guys bought stuff off of Etsy or looked at shops or items on Etsy? Ben has. Anyone else? Do you know what Etsy is?
Yes.
Anybody not know what Etsy is? So if you don't know, okay.
I was joking.
Oh.
I was like, there's no way she doesn't know. All of my Christmas gifts are from Etsy, she knows. So I know what I'm saying is like, what are you talking about, lady? It'll become clear when you do start putting stuff up for sale. And like I said, it's easy, you know, it's not rocket science. They make it so pretty much anyone can do it. There are little things here and there you discover work best for you that may not work best for everybody else, but it's your shop. You guys do what you want to do with it at the end of the day.
I have a quick question for
Yeah.
you guys. I'm curious, based on what Madeleine has talked about so far, would there be any part of that process that you personally would be like, ooh, I did that. Ooh, I want to take care of the Instagram account. Ooh, I want to communicate with customers. I want to make the packages. Any ideas of what you guys would be like? Or I really want to be making the art or the crafts. Beth, you have
I
any?
have a bunch of boxes.
You have a bunch of boxes, so you could be
Perfect. So
shipping.
you're
our
the shipping guy.
engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot
Beth,
of cardboard.
what about you, Beth?
I just have a lot of cards right now. Yeah, I would go on Instagram a lot, but I don't know if I'd be good at managing it. So I don't know.
What about you, Sophie?
I don't know, it would be fun to do the packages also.
Like to like the wrapping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Wrapping
always
and making them personal.
it's fun. I really enjoy that aspect of it. I usually will, I think I did it for yours that I made like a couple weeks ago. Usually I'll wrap them in tissue paper and then tie a little bow and some cute string and just write a quick thank you note. It doesn't have to be anything, elaborate. Just, hey, thanks so much for your purchase. It means a lot. Hope you have a yeah. But it's fun. Yeah, Quinn.
Do you usually make them ahead of time if they're not custom made?
So like the stuff that I make,
Yeah.
Yeah. I do most. Well, I do a fair amount of commission work, but it does take time to build up a base that trusts that you're gonna do what they want. So I, for you guys, would just make a bunch of stuff ahead of time, and then just list it and see how it goes, and don't get discouraged. There's always going to be an audience for whatever you're making. There's so many people out there, and you can definitely promote it within your families and friends too, and then everybody can sort of help spread the word.
Do you need to have a return address?
Yes. So you guys could probably just put CCC as the return address, or
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm assuming basically everything will come back to CCC as far as payments for listings and all that. Oh, that's something I didn't talk about. So when you get paid, the best of all, you have to have a card connected for it to go back to, or I think a PayPal account maybe works. You will have your payment, whenever you make a sale, the payment will be released the next day, and then it takes, quote, 3 to 5 business days to come to whatever payment account you're having it sent to. It never takes 3 to 5 business days. Usually it's 2 days maximum. If you make a bunch of sales on one day, all that money will get released the next day, and so on and so forth. If you make a payment if you make a sale in the morning and then a sale at night, you're gonna get the morning sale released the next day and the night sale released the day after that. It's just, Etsy's parameters. They do go by business days. So if you make a sale on a Friday morning, that's not gonna get released till Monday afternoon, which is kind of annoying, but that's life. So definitely promote hard, Sunday through Thursday for sure.
Well, and they'll be here.
Right. Right.
I'm curious if multiple of you had the app on your phones, oh, hey, we got a sale, and then you can get on top of
Yeah.
that.
You can, you get a notification every time you make a sale. You can all be signed, I don't think there's a limit to how many people can be signed in.
Oh, sorry, I was just about to ask, if multiple of us could be signed in as one account?
I think so. I don't see why not. So you get a notification. I think I had a whole thing in here. Maybe I didn't, but maybe I forgot to write it down. So on both a desktop and an app, you'll have a couple different, not areas, but parts within that will tell you. You have a little sales bar if you're on the desktop, a little thing at the bottom if you're on the app. It'll say open sales for anything that's not shipped yet, and then once you mark it shipped, it'll go to completed sales. So there's 2 things. It'll say open and completed. When you complete a sale, basically you're just saying I shipped it. So you open up the listing from the open sales column. You go in and it'll say, there's 3 dots in the corner. You say mark as shipped, and it'll bring up a page where you put in a message that you want to send with the email. I usually just say thank you so much. You can put in a tracking number, which I almost always do tracking numbers. The only time I ever don't do tracking numbers is if it's going to another country and it's not physically possible. And then you send it, and that will send an email to the customer that says, woohoo, whatever shop name has shipped your order. And it'll have the message from you and the tracking number if you added it. And then it goes to completed. Once you don't have to have it moved to completed to get the money. So if it takes a couple days for your order to ship, it's not gonna hold the money until you ship it. So that's nice. What else? The app is, I keep saying app, but really it's just the Etsy website. It's pretty easy to use. You have places where you can see your stats. So you can see, how many orders you've had, what your total revenue is, how many viewers you're getting, where they're coming from, and you can base it off of this month or this year. You can set your own time parameters. I find it really helpful to look at where my views are coming from, because it'll tell you if they're coming from Etsy or if they're coming from outside. So if they're coming from Instagram, if they're coming from Facebook, if they're coming from a Google search, if they're coming from an Etsy search. And you can look at that and kind of use that to determine what is your best bet for like advertising. Not like you have to pay for advertising or anything, but you can definitely sort of analyze that pretty easily to figure out what's working. So if you look at it and you see, 50% of our views are coming from Instagram. Okay, great. Keep doing what you're doing on Instagram. Stuff like that. There's also, what else is there? Your shop overview. So you can change your shop at any time. You don't have to keep it exactly how you set it up. You can change your photos. I think you can even change your shop name. I don't know if you can change your shop URL, but the URLs are pretty basic. They're literally just etsy.com/shop/whatever you call it.
And we can help you, all of those details set up and, payment information and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I would definitely keep it consistent across all platforms if possible, so that it's easy for people to find you.
Yeah, I love the idea of CCC Crafts, and maybe even setting up a Gmail account that would be specific to that, so you guys could have the login information and have access. You could all have access to that email if you want, rather than getting it bogged down with this.
And there is Etsy messaging, but you probably won't use that unless something goes catastrophically wrong. The only time I personally use messaging is if I'm doing a commission, which you guys probably aren't going to do, or if, God forbid, something goes wrong with the USPS and somebody still hasn't gotten their package a month later. That's happened to me like 2 times in almost 3 years. So honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. With everything that's going on in the world, shipping to certain places sometimes is taking longer, but in my experience, people have been very understanding. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But I've been pleasantly surprised with how fast, not how fast, but things are generally working as they're supposed to. Yeah, I would definitely set up like an email, like a Gmail account for this specifically, that you can then connect to all these platforms. That's another thing too, is keep them connected across the board. And by that I mean just like on Etsy, you can add links. So you can add a Facebook link. So you could add this, I think, does CCC have a Facebook page?
Yes.
So you can add that, so people know what CC is, where their money's going. You can add an Instagram link, so if you make a CCC Crafts Instagram, you can add that. You can add the email, if anybody has any questions, if they want to connect with you, not through Etsy messaging, if they have a question or something. And then on Instagram, do the same thing, basically. Add the Etsy link in your Instagram bio, You could also put like the Venmo or PayPal for CCC if somebody wants to make a donation. I think there's like a character limit in those, so you can't go crazy. But you can definitely get some good information in there. And then as far as the CCC Facebook page, are they gonna wanna sort of promote this at all? I mean,
Oh, for sure,
yeah,
yeah.
So-
And one of the things I would say, I think I have an idea of giving you guys a task. Those of you that have your phones, maybe don't set it up yet, but you can kind of investigate all of those things. Like, is CCC-crafts available
Mhm.
as a username for Gmail and Instagram
Mhm.
and Facebook and Etsy? So that whatever your name is consistent
Mhm.
on all of those platforms.
Yeah. And it might not be, so you might have to get creative.
Right.
So,
Like CCC Crafts for you,
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. So like I keep it across the board, like
I'm sure you'll be more creative than that.
Yeah, but you can I mean, you'll find something that is available on all the platforms. Like, so like my business is called Craft Dinners Embroidery, so my Instagram handle is Craft Dinners Embroidery. My Etsy shop is called Craft Dinners Embroidery. My URL is etsy.com/shop/craftdinners. It's a little different there. My Facebook page is Craft Dinners Embroidery. So across the board, it's always the same. It makes people easier to look you up, I think. And it won't be hard if you have everything connected. They'll be able to find you on all the platforms easily, but God forbid something happens, they know what to look up. They knew what to Google search.
Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, any questions? I'm sure I'll think of like 7 other things that I want to say on the way home, but.
Is there anything that you wish you had known before you got into this that could help them avoid any pitfalls?
Yes, I mean, nothing that I found that I was doing badly, just things that I think helped me a lot was just being really responsive to people who had questions, customer service wise, you know.
All right, who of you thinks you would be a good customer service representative? I.e. sending emails, responding to questions on the Etsy site. All of you are like, not me, not it.
Sure.
Who said sure?
Ben did.
Ben did.
And you probably, honestly, you probably won't get a lot of inquiries about stuff because people know Etsy, people use Etsy, they know how it works. Nobody's gonna be like confused and shocked. You know, Etsy is a huge global marketplace. People understand how it works.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
I hope
you.
it wasn't too much like specific blah blah blah.
No, are you willing to share your notes with me so that I can just?
Yeah, I'll send them to you.
These guys too? Sweet. So we'll put together, I'll turn the video guys into a YouTube video and we'll share it with Ayo and then Ella, and if Billy and Hallie wanted to be part of that too. Any last questions you have for Madeleine? No? Can you guys say thanks and give her a round of applause?